All right, you can see what I've shared. Members, can you see what I've shared?
Yes, you can. Yes.
Now, this is what these guys had prepared, which is something good in terms of preparation, presentation. I mean, when you want to show me a concept, you see, these are just 5 slides. I can see the topic, I can see the background. So it means like you did some reading. You didn't just sit down and then you thought that this is the topic I want to present. Then they gave some problem statement, objective, justification. Maybe not necessarily at this stage, at this point. What maybe I would have thought would have been important is uh, scope and limitation. Is something very nice to have at this stage so that you know what you are going to do. Now, if you look at this, now I would start commenting on this. General cost comparison. Then my first question would be, why the word general? Do we have special cost comparison? So let's say we start with the word. I would say the best topic would be cost comparison of application of EPS. Again, the topic doesn't sound clear. You could just say comparison of EPS lab to solid slab on a 5-story hospital structure. And my question now would be, have you started to read on past work? EPS is a relatively new technology, and for it to be adopted, it means cost comparison must have been done. So then I would ask you, what is it that you are going to do here that is different from what is existing? Okay. These questions are not being asked so that to say whatever you are proposing to do is not reasonable, is not good, but it pushes you to read, because now you should show me here in the background. So here you are giving me some general background information about the EPS, but I also want to see what have been done already. And this is what we talk of a brief theory. Theoretical, I mean empirical literature, a brief empirical, a brief review of past studies. Remember, this is not literature review, okay? But you must mention about what have been done in the past. In fact, in our department, in our very own department, we have had students who have done cost comparison of this material, EPS. So if you just propose a topic and then you have not even shown me that as new literature is the one that have been done in our department, then it tells me that you have never done any literature review, and you did this topic in 4th year. I mean, unit, is it called research methodology? One of the very core area of research is to do background literature review, background information, and where you are reviewing literature. Okay. Then from there, so that now you could tell us about the problem statement. Now let me talk here about the problem statement, because if all of you don't have, then you're going to prepare something like this. Remember, what we are focusing on at this stage is to have your proposal approved. How? To have your proposal approved, it means you're going to do a presentation. So I would advise you, as you prepare whatever it is you are preparing, at this stage, prepare it in PowerPoint form. Okay? So that we'll be working on the different slides to see what needs to be improved, what needs to be, done away with, what needs to continue. Now, one problem that most students do here at the problem statement. Remember, you are in engineering. There are those general problems. Like everybody in structural engineering, all of you will be faced with the issue of cost. All of you will be faced with the issue of, let's say, pollution. That whatever it is that you are doing, you are researching on, at the end of it, maybe you are proposing alternative methods, alternative materials. You are attempting to handle the global problem of maybe depletion of natural resources, pollution. That's why maybe you want to use to recycle those materials. Maybe you're handling the issue of a high cost. These are global or general problems. But here at the problem statement, we want to see the engineering problem, the specific problem. Okay? So if you have been thinking to say about the cost here and all that, those can appear in the background. Let me give you an example. If let's say we are talking of what? Let's just use this research. And I'm assuming maybe there could be something could be done here. Then you are talking of the cost. And the cost, you say, from what you have reviewed, you have seen that people have compared the blocks. I mean the slab. They have just compared the slab. But you are saying when we incorporate EPS are lightweight. So they are going to reduce the dead load or the permanent load. As a result, the overall weight carried by the structure will reduce. So I would assume that now you'd say, I'm targeting the 5-story building to see the impact. Okay, so the problem would be that while the work on comparing different slabs have been done in terms of cost, in terms of the reduction in weight, but for the overall structure, so that we can see, because of the reduced slab weight, the beam sizes might reduce, the column sizes might reduce, and even the foundation might reduce. So for you, you are doing an overall, a holistic cost comparison. So you are going to do your design, your calculation, and then you compare the materials, the materials that are required for the two types of construction, and then you do the cost for the whole building. You see, that is the specific problem emanating from just very recent studies. So somebody else now coming to say that the high cost, it's okay to appear in the background, but you see, it's like you are telling us nobody have attempted research in this area. We always build our research from the very latest literature that you can be able to get your hands on. Okay, so I hope I've been able to clarify on the issue of problem statement. Don't bring those global problem issues. Global problem issues should appear in the background. The cost, the pollution, the depletion of natural resources, all those should be done here. Another issue would be like you are proposing a new software. I mean, you are proposing a software. So you could say people have attempted, like I would go with the last sentence. You are saying lengthy construction time is customary sorry slab compared to EPS. I don't know. You're saying lengthy construction time. Okay, you see, this is very interesting. You could even compare the cost based on the time of construction. That's something very interesting that people would be happy to see, because actually for these precast units and issue of ribs, issue of EPS, the EPS slabs, issue of wall panels, actually the cost saving is on labor due to reduced construction time. Okay, so to me, this is an area that I think if, for example, in structural engineering, we need to see the structural engineering problem that is coming up. Okay. Now, something that you have missed here is in the background, as I have mentioned, you have given us the theoretical review, but the most important, which will help you identify the gap, is to tell us what have been done by who and who and who. Okay. Let me give you an example so you see what it is that I'm saying. I would like to, let's see whether I can get one very quickly. I don't know whether if I take a master's, but research is research anyway. It's only that the threshold matters. So if I take one which I can locate very quickly, then okay. Okay, defense. So I think I can stop sharing this. So I say this one window. Okay, I don't know whether we are together, all of you. This is another one I'm showing, but this was for a master's. I already graduated, but it's one that it's near my screen, so I think it's a good one to show you. You see now here. No. What is it that I'm doing? So this is topic effect of PET. PET, the plastic bottles, fibers on the structural performance of reinforced concrete beams with openings in the shear region. Okay, and somebody who might be interested in this kind of work, he did somewhere in the experiment, and then he was attempting to do some numerical simulation. So somebody can continue at the numerical simulation, but first you have to read this work to understand what he was doing. Now, you look at this, background information. He's talking about openings in beams. Of course, all of us have seen, we are in structural engineering. You have seen, for example, these malls. If you go to underground parking bay, you see openings. This kind of pipings that is there, maybe for HVAC, ventilation, aeration, and all that. So some of them cut across beams. So he was addressing those beams. Not that this research have not been done. Then he's saying there have been strengthening approaches that have been proposed. Okay, and he's talking of reinforcement, the diagonal reinforcement, and all that. You see, here then he's saying, what is the problem? Okay, this was what? This was this was defense. So defense he didn't need to justify so much because he had made so many presentations. He had made so many presentations. So he had a lot of results. Let me see whether I can get one for proposal. You see, as you progress, let's say by the time you are doing your final presentation, you are not struggling so much trying to justify your problem and gap and all that. So you find like there are some informations that you need to cut down. Let me see. Sorry, I don't want to give a document. I want to open a proposal. So I hope you are following me. I hope I'm making some I'm making some good communication, or I might have lost all of you. Okay. Then if I share this, okay, good. You can see this. You can see my screen shared.
Yeah.
Good. It's the same thing, but I've gone to proposal so that you can see what I'm saying. So here's the topic. Then he had to, okay, there's a lot of write-up, but still he is trying to show us, of course, where these things occur and all that. One of the key things that you have to focus in your work is on graphics. Okay. Then here, the same chart. Now he's trying to show. You could use graphics is like figures, tables. I mean, flow chart like this one. We don't want your PowerPoint to be in the form of paragraphs. They are so boring. So that's why you find like as he was starting, he had a lot of write-up, but then he continued improving. So you see, he is quoting. He's giving us some references of people who have tried to repair that or provide whatever it is that he's talking about. This is what I wanted to show you. At the concept proposal stage, you have to have references. You have to show us where it is that you are reading from. So you see, he wants to use these plastic bottles as fibers in reinforcing concrete around the openings. That's all in a summary. That's what he wanted to do. If you look at it, in the background information, this is where he's talking about the issue of the waste. He's talking about the disposal problem, giving statistics, giving quotations. So this is in the background. Okay. Then I think he gave a lot of information here. He was still new. Then problem statement. You see now problem statement is saying concrete is quasi-brittle material. He's still giving some reference, showing us that he had been reading. He read what was done before, so that he can tell us where he is continuing from. So he's talking about the issue of cracking. You see the problem statement, although he's using PET fibers, we are not focusing now on the issue of pollution, trying to solve that issue of pollution of those fibers. He is now focusing on the engineering problem, the cracking. Now, when you introduce opening, if you look at that statement, when you introduce opening, they reduce the ultimate load as well as the induced cracking. So we need to address that. Okay, how do you do that? A number of methods have been proposed, but then now he goes ahead to say building codes do not provide specific guidance. What I wanted to show you in this place is between the global problem and specific problem. Number two is to show you that in the background, especially at the concept and the proposal stage. For your case, I think you're just going to present maybe once proposal. You need to show us that you have done some reading. You need to give us that background so that by the time you are coming to your problem statement, it's very clear what it is that you want to address. You are not the first one who is doing what you are trying to do. So don't show us like you are coming from a very new area of research. Nobody have done it, and then you are trying to solve that problem. No, you are building up on some other people's work. Then you come and list your objectives and all that. Anyway, I don't want to go deeper into that because you have not gone to that stage. Now, before I go ahead, there are issues I want to dissuade you from focusing on at this stage. Those people who are doing things to do with the partial replacement of cement with something, partial replacement of aggregate with something. These are research which have been so much done and executed in our lab. And we are trying to dissuade people from repeating what have already been done. So what I'm trying to advise my students is that move away as much as possible from this area, unless you do a thorough literature review. Even don't go away from our labs. Focus on the research that have been done locally. Then tell us what's new, what is the new area that you are focusing on. Because you find that so many people want to combine this and this. They want to combine this material with this material. And there is nothing new coming out of it because so many people have done that. Okay. Anyway, you need to go prepare your concept. Let it have the background, let it have the problem statement, let it have the objectives, let it have, you can put justification and significance, whatever it is. Those, I'm not so much concerned about those. Let it have scope and limitation. At this stage, this is a proposal or a concept. If it's a proposal, if it's not a concept would not need to have the literature review. But if it's a proposal, then you must have literature review, summary of literature review. This is how you do your literature review. Allow me to just share it once again. Okay, I don't know whether. Let me just give you the final one. I've realized also that his literature review, the one that we are looking for, well, seems I can't share that. Just a minute. Oh. I don't know why now it have refused to share. Good. Okay, link it have come up. You can see it clearly, right?
Yes.
This is how you do literature review this way. You see, this literature review in this format. You have a paper, because what we are focusing on is on the empirical. Empirical literature review is a review of past studies, past research. You see, we have two types of literature review. One is empirical, the other one is theoretical. Theoretical is theory. Sometimes theoretical review, unless you are doing a very new research, you might be introducing a very new material that people don't know about it. Therefore, you need to explain to people. You might need to explain to people what is it. Let's say, for example, new technology. What is it? Let me give an example of, I don't know now, EPS. EPS, is it very new here nowadays? But let's use it as an example. So you may think that maybe, or you may feel like people may need to get some theory about those EPS blocks and how they are interconnected. You may have it, but it's wasting your time, because for the proposal, you are trying to tell people what is the gap. You are doing a literature review to tell people, this is what have been done so far. This is what I feel is still remaining. Therefore, my gap will be on this. Therefore, you are trying to look at the past studies to provide the empirical literature. Past studies, okay, this is just a format. You can change some areas, but the key area that must be there is one, of course, the title and the others, you must have the last column, the critique. The critique is from what they have done, what still remains to be done. Okay, like he's saying, let's look at the second one. Hybrid fibers were used for shear reinforcement in high performance concrete with and without openings. Then findings, what did they find? That there was an increase in hybrid fiber content, that an increase in the fiber content increased the fast cracking road, ultimate road capacity, so there was an improvement, toughness and all that. But what remains to be done? The study focused on replacing steel links with what? High hybrid fibers. Then he is talking of there is the high cost of HSC and steel fibers. So it means it leaves now a gap that how now do we go for alternative fibers to this? And then you provide a number of them. Then you come and have summary of research review, such gap. From what you have reviewed, let's have a summary. Of course, this one was too detailed. It could be summarized further. Before now you come to the conceptual framework and method. But for this proposal stage, remember you might be given like 5 to 7 minutes. So I would not advise you to go past 10 to 12 slides. Otherwise, you not have time. Unless if you have slides like this one. You know, this one we call them transition slides. Yeah. Sometimes you can put a slide when you want to tell people you are moving from literature review to methodology. They can see that. So there's nothing you are saying here. You just going forward, then people know that you have got it to methodology. Then when you are crossing over to results, then you see this is just a transition. Maybe you may not count it and all that. Now, up to that point, any question? Any question on the content that is required for the proposal? Any question on about the problem statement, the specific problem statement? And then I don't want to mention this, you have had it before. Your specific objectives must be SMART. I know this one has been mentioned in the literature review, research methodology unit. They must be specific, measurable, realistic, achievable, and time bound. Okay, especially measurable. Yeah, for specific objective. Then what else it is that I wanted to mention at this stage. Okay, I like to stop there so that I can hear what it is that you have. Caroline, what is it that you said you wanted to have? Although now I'm saying without a concept, you might not give much comment.
Ideally, I thought you'd just hear out our topics, or maybe give us some guidance on maybe what we can change if it's even feasible. If we can have additions to those topics.
I can't give any comment based on the topic.
Okay.
Remember, everything is researchable. There is how can I put it? There is no limit to research. It's about you to show us there is a problem. For example, give me your topic, the one that you have now.
Experimental study on the tensile strengths of recycled concrete aggregates with pozzolanic coating and sisal fiber reinforcement or addition.
Okay, you see. Now, that's a topic you have given me.
Yeah.
You're talking of... Can you repeat the first part?
Recycled study on the tensile strengths of recycled concrete.
Stop there. Study on tensile strength. My first question would be, why tensile strength? Why not all mechanical properties?
Okay.
Okay. No, that's not a question. Unless you see now, this is why I'm saying a concept is enough, because it must be somewhere that you are showing us this is what needs to be done. Why I'm focusing on this area. Now, number two. Now you are talking of recycled aggregate have been done. Sisal fibers have been done. Now, what is it? You are saying coated with what?
Pozzolanic coating as a treatment method.
Coating with pozzolanic has been done. Now, if you just tell me that topic, I'll just tell you those things have been done. It's about you to defend your case. Tell me what has been done so far. You see?
Yeah.
There must be a certain flow. That's why I'm saying, if you just give somebody a topic, they might tell you, this is already in existence. Because, I mean, we do not invent a wheel. We are trying to improve the wheel. It's about how you present your problem, how you introduce your problem, about the background, showing us what have been done, literature review. These are what other people have done 2023, 2022. You try to focus on literatures which are not older than 5 years old. 2021, 2024. From that, I can now see, okay, oh, you are saying, although they used types of fibers, they went up this point, or they did this and this. But I feel, or from our observation, this and this problem was still manifesting, which need to be addressed by alternative methods. You get my flow?
Okay, I get it.
Yeah, so that's why a topic in itself, I might dismiss it, but there is something very interesting in it. So that's why you need to have that concept.
Okay.
Let's get somebody else who heard that topic. We hear what it is about. There are topics which I can tell you outright. Those ones are. Dennis Minor, what is the new topic? Dennis?
Hello.
Yes?
Oh, can you hear me?
Very well.
Our new topic.
Yes.
Refinement of carbonated RCA using alkali treated sisal fiber.
All you people, you just want to go to materials. But I'm telling you there, you might have big trouble. Why don't you guys want to do structural mechanics and modeling and other stuff? So you are saying refinement of?
Refinement of carbonated RCA using alkali treated sisal fiber.
So the issue is what do you mean by refinement?
We want to improve the RCA so that it can be sound to work with and treat it with sisal fiber.
I mean, no, I'm looking at the word refinement. You see, as a research you are doing, there are words which must sound investigative. If I say I'm refinement, or I'm saying improving, it means already it's a project have been done. You're just applying. So there's no research that is going on. Refinement of. It's like we are just going to sit down and then do refinement. What if there's no improvement? So to me, you're saying refinement of carbonated RCA. That word refinement to me seems off. You could even say effect of carbonation on RCA using alkali. Then where does types of fibers now come in? You see, I don't get it. I don't get it. Why do you want to combine so many things? Some people combine so many things because there is no problem. We are trying to reduce what we call proliferation of the similar research ideas. Somebody says this material have been done, therefore I'm going to combine this and this with no justification. Then later on you find somebody want to combine 4 materials, other time 6 materials with no justification. To me, I would ask you, what is the problem with RCA that you want to address? If now you are in the problem statement, what would you tell us is the problem of RCA that you want to address? Dennis?
The problem that we want to address is the durability and the lack of tensile strength. So we want to complement it with the sisal fiber.
But sisal fibers are not durable.
When treated, they can be durable.
Yeah. So then, have you tried to read what other people have done? Because there are people who have used sisal fiber. There are people who have treated sisal fiber.
Yes.
You've tried to attempt to look at those papers or even some project reports.
Yes, we have.
So you have a gap.
Pardon?
You have a gap. You have a gap. You are building up on something.
Yes.
With that, then I can't say no until I see the topic. I see your presentation. can't tell you no at this stage. But when now you present and I see that you have not reviewed those work that have been done by those people, then I just feel like you want to do a repetition. Huh? Okay, let's hear Karen or somebody else, because I know you are working in groups. So I don't want to mention somebody in your group. Who else want to tell us what their topic was? Hello? Smith Moore, you're in which group?
I'm in the same group with Tessie. Our research topic was on coming up with guidelines for design of reinforced concrete with microfibers.
Can you read the title? Can you read the title the way it is?
The topic is enhancing concrete beam design. Then there's a colon. Performance of polypropylene fibers to increase in strength, reduce in crack propagation, and in lowering reinforcement requirement.
You're just using so many words, but you are looking at the effect of polypropylene fibers on the structural performance of reinforced concrete beams.
Yes, yeah.
Why are you using so many words? Why did you tell me that you want to come up with the design guidelines?
Because that is the idea of the project. The topic of not yet nailed it, but that is the idea of the project. We have found many research topics on people who have used many fibers to reinforce, maybe to reduce crack propagation, maybe to increase tension. But in all of them, they have said that it has increased tension, but there's no clear guideline, and the conventional methods don't show any method of designing reinforced concrete that has microfiber in it.
Then why don't you say development of design guidelines for beams reinforced with microfibers? Just that. Why do you want to have the other part? So when you say development of design guidelines, it means you are going to do deep literature review of those people who have used different types of fibers. Otherwise, if you don't do that, your work will be very shallow.
Yes.
So you're going to okay, let me first ask you, have you tried to look at the code, whether BS or Eurocode? What does it say? Because steel fibers have been used before. Do we have design guidelines for steel fibers?
Yes, for steel fibers, but there's none for. We're talking about our focus is mostly on plastic fibers like polypropylene, performance polypropylene, and such. The microfibers.
Micro is just an issue of size, it's not type. Size. Even steel fibers can be micro. So your topic could be, it sounds interesting, but it means you have to change the direction. What is it that you wanted to do? What type of work, what kind of work do you want to do? When you talk of scope and limitation, what is it that you're going to include
there? Our scope was mostly on, we didn't have a clear scope.
How do you want to tell us? You want to tell us you want to do something and you don't know what it is that you want to do?
No, we want to, for guidelines, what we want is, for example, to come up with a safe ratio to ensure that there is use, because we saw in some research that usage of microfiber, it increases the properties of concrete up to a certain point. So we wanted to come up with a ratio for the use of microfiber. Two, we also wanted to come up with a way of its application. For example, in a beam, does it mean that there'll be more reinforcement, there'll be more concrete that is reinforced with microfiber at the bottom than at the top because that's where there's more tension? Or does it mean the beam can be uniformly can contain uniform mixed concrete of that has microfiber, something of that sort? So when you come up with the ratio 1 to how it will be, how the concrete maybe will be applied in the field.
How do you plan on executing that? Through experiment, through simulation, through what?
Through experiments.
How many fibers are you going to handle?
Our focus was only on polypropylene, performance polypropylene fiber.
Then you're just going to repeat what other people have done. The topic sounds interesting, but then whatever it is you are proposing to do, the actual work, that shows you are just going to repeat. I thought you want to develop design guidelines, some equations, some procedures on how now we can employ these fibers, that you are going to use data from people, from other people's work, that even if you're going to have an experiment, it will just be maybe one or two for confirmation purposes. It's like you are collating together, you are bringing together, you are trying to summarize what other people have done, and then you are showing us some clear guidelines on how we can now incorporate these fibers, how we can design beams having these fibers. You're giving us guidelines on where best to place these fibers, whether as a bottom, whether as a shear region, you know. But then if you're just going to use have a wrong, you're just going to have your materials and the beam, whatever it is, and then you incorporate these polypropylene fibers. It's just what have been done before. I don't know what it is that you're going to say is very new with your work. But to me, if the idea that you are trying to come up with, I think there's something that that can be done there, especially when you talk of the design. We do not have design guidelines. We have had people proposing this equation, other people this equation, but still, as long as they have not been harmonized into a standard, we still have some work to do as we try to develop these policies for implementation. Okay.
So if we decide to go down the route of design, does that mean we'll have to experiment with many fibers?
It's upon you to know whether you do experiments or you do. Of course, you have to do some tests so that you can confirm. But you can even borrow data from what have already been done if you can access some of those researches. Nobody, by the way, stops you from referring to other people's work as long as you quote it appropriately that is not yours. Especially for those people who are doing review work, review papers, and all those people who are like trying to, let's say you are harmonizing, you are developing some design criteria. It means you are picking data, observation from different people, and then you are bringing it together in one area, in one place. Of course, you're going to have a lot of borrowing to do. But this one I want to leave it to you because I don't know whether you're up to that task. That requires somebody who wants to really dig deep and study. Before now, you can say this is the proposed design criteria. It's all about how you defend your work. You know, now here we are discussing something that we don't see what it is, how you have presented it. Just trying to pick your mind. I'm a more I have about 10 minutes to go, or 5 minutes. I wanted to stop some minute to 10. I'm a more, which group are you in? Is it I'm a more or Army? Diana Cones, which group are you in? Have you stated your topic? All right. So go prepare something to present, and then we will agree when we can mix things. Maybe next week. Your project is on Tuesday.
Yeah.
You can have a short meeting to see what it is that you have prepared. In the meantime, in the WhatsApp group, I'll be sharing some material, some guides on what it is that you can include in the concept, what it is that is not necessary, and things maybe, I don't know. I don't want to promise anything to do with topics, but if I get one, my thinking was if you can be able to attach yourself to ongoing master's projects. There are some ongoing master's projects which have already been approved. because for you at undergraduate, you don't have much time to. We want to see you executing the work, not spending too much time on the proposal. And again, we don't want you to just repeat what has already been done. Okay. Anyway, let's have something written. Otherwise, it might be difficult to comment on what you have. But I hope at least now you have some guidance, some clarity. Maybe not very clear, but some clarity on the direction that you need to take. Right?
Yeah, yes, you do. Yeah.
Right?
I have a question.
Yes.
There's a concept presentation that's supposed to happen on the 18th.
That is next week.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Is it?
Oh,
Will it?
it's
Yeah.
Tuesday.
Yeah.
And
Is it the proposal or it's the
that's what I was
proposal part?
asking. That's what I was asking, and I expected you guys to brief me. Because usually,
Yeah.
how do I put it? We are supposed to have a concept, then a proposal for semester 1. Then semester 2, you are supposed to have progress and then final.
Okay.
Now, this is switch week. You just started the other day, so this might be a concept. Sometimes they don't happen because the schedule of the department. So you might find yourself that you are saying it's a concept, then it is a full proposal. A full proposal is very different from a concept. I hope you understand that. If it's a concept, I don't expect you to have the literature review and the methodology and all those chapters. But if it's a proposal, it have to go all the way to expected result, work plan, budget, all those.
Okay.
So you need to confirm with the coordinator. The coordinator is in the academy, right?
Yeah.
You need to ask him whether there will be another proposal, whether this is just a concept. You can even ask him, what do you need, what is required for us in terms of the content? Up to what point are we presenting?
Okay.
Yes, it all depends on him. Actually, it changes year in, year out.
Okay.
Yeah. And again, it's so unfortunate, and I was making noise because in structures group we are very lean, the staff, very few of us, but there are so many of you which have come to structures. Now I have, I think, 6 of you. Supervision, it becomes chaotic. So if that tells you, when you come here, please let us spare on time, have prepared your work. Most of the communication I'll be making on the WhatsApp group. Then if I address comment on one person, then please try to check whether yours is aligned, properly aligned.
Okay.
So in that case, then let's meet, because I've not seen your topics. Let's meet. Let me check my calendar. Of course, me, I usually don't have any problem even meeting in the evenings, as long as it's okay with you. We can meet on Friday. Friday will have given you enough time. We can meet on Friday. No. Sorry, it's unfortunate. Friday I want to be seated down in the afternoon. Friday at this time, is okay? 9?
Friday at 9 a.m.
Mm.
I think it will conflict because we have a class at 8 a.m. Physical class.
That is the problem now, because now we could have put it in the afternoon, but I'll not be around. I'll be traveling in the afternoon.
Yeah.
Do you have Seventh-day Adventists, those who might not be available on Saturday? We can have it on Saturday morning. Okay, consult amongst yourself.
Yeah.
Between either Saturday morning.
Yeah.
Saturday at 9 a.m. Just confirm for me. Saturday 9 a.m. Then, if not, then we go with Friday. You say it is not possible, or Thursday at 12 p.m. Thursday 12 p.m. or even in the evening, no problem.
Okay, I think we'll discuss it among ourselves, then we can confirm with you.
Yes, but only those 2 slots. Otherwise, the other
Yeah.
slots in are booked.
Okay.
And inform me in time.
Okay, so for this, you require the concept.
This one
For
I
us to
need,
just present the concept to
because
you.
my interest
Yeah.
is to see the way you presented whether
Yeah.
there's something worth investigating. So in this concept, we want to see, make it in PowerPoint.
Yeah.
Then let's have a background. Let's put it a maximum of 2 slides.
Okay.
Then have a problem statement.
Okay.
That's of course 1 slide. Then let's have what objectives. Of course, those one cover 1 slide. So objective, which means you have the main objective, which is 1, and the specific objective, which are about 3. Then you could, if you so wish, you can put what we call, students like to put justification.
Yeah.
And significance. To me, sometimes I feel it could be put in the report, but not as necessary for presentation. But scope and limitation must be there.
Yeah.
That is 1 slide. How many slides are those? 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Then let's have literature review. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Summary, the table, the one I have shown you. At least review minimum of 3 references. Minimum of 3 in the way I've shown you, so that the very latest, very new references related to your work. These ones are helping you to show us the work that have been done and what you want to build on. Okay, so that will be 1 slide. Then the other one will be now the summary and research gap from the literature review. Summary and research gap, 1 slide. So this will be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 slides. At this stage, I don't want to have methodology. And this work I want us to present in 5 minutes.
Okay.
You train yourself in 5 minutes. In the meantime, consult a coordinator. I don't want to confuse you between what you are preparing now and what you are going to present on Monday.
Okay.
That's all. Anybody else with a question so that we can edit at that point? Yeah. Our communications will be on WhatsApp. Of course, it will reach a point where you are sharing now the document via my email. But at this stage, we keep our communication in the group. I might not be responding to private messages because now you keep on responding to the same comment or concern several times. Okay. All right. That's all. Have a good day.
Okay, you too.